Just trying to get out the nervous energy. Searching pass to the right side of attack. Good defending there by CLERY.
And you've made mention that Canaries are no pushover.
Yes.
Foul there on Ajani Hippolyte.
Starting to get a little feisty from early Eli.
Well, I think Canaries have a point to prove. They would have finished the mid-table last season. Within themselves, they would have felt that they could have done a lot better. As I indicated, their main goal threat, Louis, missed the bulk of the fixtures. He's one of these players. As a striker, he can do everything.
Everything.
He can hold up the play, he can run the channels, he interplay, he can take players on one-on-one, he's good in the air. And he's really the focal point of the attack. So Canaries now will feel that they have a point to prove. We know they have some attacking players in and around Louis, like the likes of Donovan Jabatis, Cassius Joseph as well. And these players are going to provide the sort of creativity, and hopefully the Louis can get on the end of it.
Interesting ball coming across. Sempre goalkeeper just helping it further on its way. And it's a corner now for Canaries. Game continues. Interception there by Canaries. Ball fed across. Better passing in the area. Clearance there by the centre back for CLERY.
Donnie Lionel, he was voted the best defender of
In the league, yeah.
of Tier 1 last season. The CLERY team is a team that likes to venture forward. Zane Pierre, the head coach of this CLERY outfit, a former national captain, former player in Serie A as well. And his philosophy is one of possession and attack.
I think what Zane has done, he has molded a team similar to how he played. You often hear coaches do that. You know, if you were a defender, you would have a traits of probably a little more on the defensive side. But in Zane Pierre, a central midfielder, making passes all over the place, scoring goals all over the place as well. So clearly we see the reason why you opted for possession and attack.
Yeah, Canaries getting a free kick there. Interesting, the position of MacArthur. He starts off in an offside position, and then we now see him getting back in line, a high line there by CLERY, and the ball comes across and ricochets all over the place, and finally cleared by Darren Joseph, the central partner of Donnie Lionel for CLERY. A little wayward in their passing at this point in the game. In just a few, we should have with us the first hat-trick hero from the first game, that in the person of Maya Stanislas.
Searching pass across, Buju, good control. Looks to take a shot from all the way out, a little bit optimistic right there. Here the applause from the crowd. Seems to be favored towards the defending champions of CLERY.
Yeah, I think CLERY has a few followers in today, not known to have much of a traveling crowd, but the games are at the Mindo Phillip Park, so within close enough proximity to the community of CLERY, CASTRIES East, CASTRIES North. So there's that ball across there, dangerous ball across.
And just really making some headway down the left side, which he's known for. He has a big fan base, a big following as well. Came across a little too feeble in that pass. Nobody been able to get something onto it. But clearly you could see the intent of CLERY.
Yeah, definitely. And you're going to see this a lot. Yuan Buju Degazo, in every sense of the word, a two-footed player. He has the ability to put the ball in with both his left and right foot. And a nice ball in there. CLERY is a nice bit of skill there again, and a shot just going wide of the upright. Can't exactly make out. Is it Cooper there that just took that shot there? I believe it may just be Ronham Cooper, the number 99 for CLERY. Came up trumps during the playoffs last season. Became an important player, scoring goals from midfield when it counted for CLERY. Offside flag up.
You see the quick passing of CLERY. One touch into space, an attack.
And as promised, we have with us the hat-trick hero from the first game for Mabuya Valley, Maya Stanislas. Maya, welcome to the commentary booth.
Yeah, thank you.
You scored the first hat-trick, registered the first hat-trick of the Semi-Pro Football League for Tier 1. How was that feeling for you?
Well, it was a great feeling coming on this game and getting the first hat-trick in the Semi-Pro tournament.
And that last goal kind of scomed in the keeper. Were you surprised that it got past him?
Yeah, I had doubts, but I took the shot and it went in.
Yeah, what they say, you have to buy a ticket to win the lottery.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What club do you play for? How old are you? You know, your little background of you in football.
Well, I'm Maya Stanislas from the community of Denier Riviere. Played for Togetherness Youth, which is my home club. I represent Mabuya Valley on the wing. Well,
how long have you been playing with the Mabuya Valley?
That's my third year playing, representing Mabuya Valley.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 20.
20 years old, and it's your third year. We realize that Mabuya has a nice blend of youth and experience. How is that for you, being a younger player within the setup and having, you know, the likes of your captain, Elias Henville, and the Sandifords there who have a little bit more experience?
Well, it's a great feeling playing with them. Get to learn different stuff every day, even in training. I may do a few mistakes and they would correct me, tell me, you know, take on or when to do the pass and all that. Build me, help me to become a better footballer. Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about young Tej Pascal? He seemed very proficient at the right back, got into the attacking areas quite a bit, and looked a good player.
Yeah, he's a very good player, I must say. Running down the wings, helping the defense also in attack. He's a brilliant defender, I must say.
How old is Tej?
Tej is 16 years old.
16 years old?
Yeah.
How many players do you have on the team that's about that age? I think Ethan is also 16 as well?
Right. We got Ethan, we got Cody. Karim. Yeah, Karim. Around that, yeah.
So very.
Yeah, we have a very young team, you know.
So what are you guys looking forward to for the rest of the season? You guys finished strongly last season, started off well, 5 goals. So as it stands, you guys are at the top of the table in the Premier Division. So what's the ambition for Mabuya Valley this season?
Well, we come in with that mindset to win and to finish on top of the table, becoming the 2025 champs in this semi-pro tournament.
All right, Myers, thank you very much for joining us, man, and all the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Eli Stanislas spoke very well. Again, you see how you translate the football into, handling the interview very well, very well. And we need to do more of this, expose the players to every facet of the game, not only just playing, but the media side of it, giving their views on what they've experienced. So clearly, young Stanislas has discovered. So we're hoping as the season progresses, we can do more of this so the fans can get a feel of what the players are made of.
Yeah, definitely well said, critic. Was good to hear a youngster being expressive, there expressing himself. Just 20 years old. He started off just a little bit soft-spoken, but you could see he just grew in confidence. He got a little bit more comfortable, similar to how they started off the game.
Yeah. I was just about to say that, just as he played, he was able to converse with you. But it's good. It's all well and good. But action continues on the pitch, Eli, and of course, like we spoke of, the Canaries team will not make it easy for the CLERY. They've been at it. There have been some chances there and thereabout. But interesting so far. But clearly you can see the strength of the CLERY team is on the wing play with Andres Remy and Degazon.
Yeah, I expect a lot of creativity to come through those two. Of course, moving central main is not in the starting lineup. Let me just make sure if he's on the team sheet. He's not on the team sheet for tonight. Of course, moving central main making his senior national call-up in the recently concluded World Cup qualifiers. Also represented Valley Soccer very well in the CASTRIES Youth League. He's still only 18 years old, critic. But usually he plays in that number 10 position behind the striker, although he's able to play up front as well, able to play on both flanks as well. So let's see how they're going to adjust. Jamanuel Xavier would be his replacement in the middle of the park for CLERY. So let's see how that works in terms of their usual chemistry. I don't think CLERY suffered any major injuries to any of their key players last season. They were able to, play through the season. Of course, Andres Remy joined the team mid-season and immediately registered a hat-trick, if my memory serves me correctly.
You're correct.
But Canaries holding their own, a free kick for them. And just Remy complaining there that he didn't feel that there was any infringement. Both players jumping.
Yeah. But the Canaries player basically used the momentum of Andres Remy to get that foul.
Yeah. I think in those scenarios, the player who gets to the ball first generally has, the upper hand in those scenarios. And he got his head to the ball, so Remy would have felt a little hard done by the foul called against him, but
the wall is set up now by CLERY.
tries to go under.
Very strong.
Very composed play there by CLERY, playing the ball out from the back. Very well done by Canaries as well. This game is evenly poised so far, Critic.
Canaries can play. I told you they're a football district. They have won several national championships as well. So it's a team that can play.
Lionel there, rock at the back for CLERY. Big, strong defender, very quick, but he can also play the ball out from the back as well. Saint-Prix holding that one up there for Jonathan Allen. Not able to connect with the wall pass.
They tried to come out of this one. Good patience shown by CLERY. Again, playing in sectors of the field, Eli. Earlier on, you mentioned how they were able to come out. Some quick interpassing between them, and they were able to deal with it. And this is what they're known for, to get the ball out quick. There's another searching, raking diagonal pass there, trying to get the guys on the left side. And this is what they're known for, just to change up their mode of attack. And that's a lot of teams have not been able to deal with it. But I'm hoping that this season that majority of the teams have done their homework on CLERY to make it harder should they try to repeat.
Yeah, the way that they move the ball though is going to be difficult for most teams, I would think, in the league. Canaries, however, so far they've shown the bite, the fight, the tenacity. They've stuck in. Can they keep it up for 90 minutes?
I was just about to ask you that. Can they do it? Often you at some point need to simmer down because you need to manage the game and also manage your energy levels. So instructions should be coming from their bench as per when they need to hold it down based upon the scoreline of the game. But so far you could see clearly that they're taking it in terms of their press and tenacity to the CLERY team.
We saw that curving run there by McAfee from central area into the wide area, just intercepted by CLERY there. But he's a player to keep an eye on. If you might be looking for his little dreadlocks, got a haircut. Fresh look for the second season of the Semi-Pro Football League. Degazon and Remy have also switched sides at this point in time. Remy now operating off the right flank and Degazon off the left. They do that very often during the course of the game. Very fluent in the movement of the front three or front four for CLERY.
Yeah, trying to throw off the defense of the Canaries team, try to have the opposition thinking differently when you have different matchups. I guess it's a tactic deployed by their coach in Zane P. Like I said, he coaches in a similar fashion that he played. A lot of trickery.
Yeah, and I just got a glimpse of Mervyn St. Romain, so I suspect he may be carrying a little niggle. Because he's not in the match list today, but he is here with his team. He's at the venue. Ball in across. Strike there, deflected, gathered well by the custodian for Canaries. Kimari John in goal for Canaries, the number 30. Poor attempt of a ball in by Saint-Prix. Showtime. Just a little too much on that one for Cassius Joseph.
Yeah, I've been watching the left back for Canaries, and he seems to be not too comfortable in his passing. So he needs to refocus and to put that ball just ahead or to feet of his teammates. And you know that how that pass worked, Eli. You could have seen young Cassius have a shot on goal of the sort. But the left back for Canaries certainly needs to pull his weight.
Yeah, Cassius Joseph, known as Messi, not just because of his stature, but very quick feet. So the space he was in, you'd have expected him to be crafty enough to navigate his way into the box and get a shot off.
That's right, or make some way for the number 9 striker. You know, but he seems to be the one that they were looking for. The pull strings in midfield for Canaries, like you mentioned, nickname goes by Messi. Has a lot of records as a youngster, scored a lot of goals as well, played for St. Lucia as well. So he too comes in for loads of experience. Good defense.
Dramatic clearance there. Remy thinks that he is fouled there, but not according to the officials. And Lionel puts it out into touch.
Yeah, again, good build up on the left side there for Canaries. Central defender for CLERY playing his ball out of touch. Goalkeeper may have been disappointed, thinking that he would just turn back and play it into safety. But the touch put that ball outside. It's not been too easy for CLERY. They have shown us some flashes of brilliance of what they're capable of. But by now they would want to be on the score sheet.
Of course, the custodian for CLERY, Devon Senpri, just recently included in the national team setup as well. Not for the first time, I might add. Brothers at the opposite ends of the pitch for CLERY.
Remember last season, his brother played in defense.
Correct.
But he's more known as an attacker. As a matter of fact, his nickname is Showtime.
Correct.
So that means, well, he's a show. He puts on a good show in attack. But he too has not been able to stamp some sort of authority in the game thus far. He's played outside on the left side. But I don't think he has much influence or can affect the game just yet.
Yeah, CLERY definitely has not had it all their own way in the early going. As I indicated, Canaries is no slouch. The game between Canaries and CLERY last season, I think it finished 2-1 in favor of CLERY, if my memory serves me correctly. But Canaries had quite a few opportunities in that game.
They have themselves to blame. They're supposed to have won that game.
Stanley King there, applying some pressure to Ajani Hippolyte.
But good defense, getting himself between the opposition and the ball. So it's been very difficult for the attacker to get through. Keep a steady head.
Senpri also very competent with his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Good player in terms of playing the ball out of the back, which fits in well with the possession-based style of CLERY.
When he can also play on the outfield, I think he also plays as an attacker as well. So the Sempris are quite capable.
That's another area of competence for Makafa Louis, ability to press the ball. He's a player that will run for the entire 90 minutes.
Right through. Well, the Canaries team would be more comfortable keeping the ball on the pitch rather than, having to jostle for control first and trying to make last ditching passes. I would like to see them keep the ball on the ground and make better passing of it.
Of course, one of the venues for this year's semi-pro football league is the Canaries playing field.
Small ground.
Cozy, very cozy. Should be there sometime within the month of October, according to the schedule. So Canaries fans will get an opportunity to see their team play on home ground. Of course, the Canaries playing field is one that languished for quite some time previously.
I would think that some work has been done on the surface, lights as well. So
Correct.
clearly, if it's chosen by the league to have games down there, that field may have been given a lot of attention.
It definitely was. It was there last season, but I think the surface was deemed that it was not fit for purpose or up to standard, I should say. But some remedial work has been done there. Seating there as well, as you indicated, lights. So it's going to be an interesting.
Imagine the road in itself is in tip-top shape. So getting down to Canaries shouldn't be a problem. And while you mentioned so, I just brainstorming. And I'm saying that, the league is in its second season. But I would love to see more fans come out to support the community. We all belong to a community. Now, I'm not saying that fans should be, the aim is to flock the stands with loads of fans. But we know that's not possible. What I'm saying, Eli, is that the league has made it affordable, and now they're down to 10 venues trying to bring football to every nook and cranny of St. Lucia. I can tell you, there has been a major leap.
Good tackle there, and the ball still falls to the CLERY player, and he's able to put it into the back of the net. It looks like Andres Remy on his old stomping ground.
Yeah.
Plays his club football with B1 FC.
The defender tried, but because of his awkward positioning and the strength of Remy basically rode that tackle and was able to carry on. But as I was saying, Eli, is that, we all belong to a community, and, there's tier 1, there's tier 2. So every semblance of the league can provide where fans can come out to support their community. I'm just saying, like, for example, the games have decent prizes with Marchand, and I'm hoping that with Marchand opening an account and getting a result, next time Marchand play, we get to see more individuals. Similar to CLERY. CLERY had a remarkable season, and I'm hoping that the CLERYans can come out and support their team. And on and so on and so forth. Like I say, the dream is to see the stands pack. But we know we have to be realistic. But fans, past players, veteran players, family members can come out to support their fellow, whether it be your brother playing, it's come out and support. Come out and support. It's a league that is growing, and it's a league that the government has invested in. And I think it's fair and well that persons come out and support the semi-pro football league.
Yeah, I think you said it well. It's a league that's growing, and not just growing in terms of the quality of play, not just growing in terms of the number of venues, but I think it's also growing in terms of the fan support. We see a lot more banter online between rival fans. I could recall just yesterday or day before, actually saw the clip of the Central CASTRIES and SOUFRIERE non-penalty call being circulating on Facebook, and having some chat about that. So the interest is definitely being drummed up within the fan base. We also saw CLERY do a promotional video, indicating that CLERY is loading. So the teams are marketing themselves a lot better. I think the fans are starting to buy in. And I think slowly but surely the Semi-Pro Football League is becoming a household name in St. Lucia. People can more readily identify players. You know, gone are the days when you would probably hear tennis in Glasgow but wonder who he is. You know, the games are being streamed and, you know, people can actually see the players. You know, there's a lot of artwork for the games that feature the players.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's making the football a lot more attractive and definitely allowing the Semi-Pro Football League to spread its tentacles far and wide within the various communities.
Yeah, sure bet. So fans, we urge you to come on, turn those social memes and banter to numbers in the stands. As we continue, it is 1-0 in favor of CLERY. Goal just scored by Andres Remy. Known for his goal scoring prowess, as Eli indicated, he came in to that team midway through and was able to steer towards championship. And they are certainly started off in good vein.
Well, I was saying he plays his club football for B1FC.
He's at
so
home.
He hails from the community. The grounds will be very familiar to him. I think a player got trod on there accidentally.
Yeah, just the use of the hand. Referee on the spot. And it's a free kick to Canaries.
Just want to give a little bit more information on the venues. I mentioned 10 venues, but there are some of these venues that are going to be open venues, but there's going to be no admission. So fans can come in and watch those games for free. So the Miku playing field, for example, the Deriso playing field, the SLFA Technical Center. These are grounds that are open venues where people will be able to come in and see Semi-Pro Football League matches without having to pay a cover charge. And I think that's all in an effort to, you know, continue bringing the football to the communities, allowing, you know, more people to have an opportunity to experience Semi-Pro football. Of course, we had the Mindu Philip Park right now, but the Grosile Mini Stadium will come into play, SOUFRIERE Mini Stadium, Philip Marsler Grounds, Dennery Playing Field. Those are the three venues that saw action from the Semi-Pro last season. The Larry Shoes Playing Field, you know, those who are within the footballing fraternity would know that field very well. Mabia would be very happy to be playing some games. Over 140 matches to be played in this year's edition of the Semi-Pro Football League.
Very good, very good. I guess the league would have done its research in, you know, choosing those facilities. So very good, like Eli mentioned, trying to bring football to every aspect of our St. Lucia. There's a situation there. Ball played back to goalkeeper. Quite comfortable. Getting it cleared.
Of course, St. Pre taking no chances there. We see some of the nifty footwork of MacArthur Louis there.
You know the exploits of the attacker for Canaries, number 16. The name doesn't come to mind, but like
Donovan
Jabatis. He's another candidate you have to take, not lightly, because he can turn this game as well.
Correct.
He's impressed by Canaries.
He too would have been in the national team setup.
There you go.
That just recently went across to Curacao.
And just Remy, we want to do better with this pass. But again, you see it, Eli. It's simple for the tactics of the CLERY team. Quick passing, get the ball to the flank, and whip that ball across. If they have to stay within the pitch area in midfield and knock it around, they can do so as well. So they vary the attack.
Of course, we made mention in the first game of football in families. Fun fact, Andres Remy would be the uncle of Donovan Philip Gustoman.
And Jess Remy also is the brother of Satan.
Correct. Correct.
And the original Satan played football, who's their dad.
Their dad, yes, correct.
So,
Correct.
so the dad name is Satan, and Satan name is Satan.
Satan's son is Satan.
Satan.
Well, one is Saturn.
But the elder one, the elder one is Satan.
Same thing for those who wondering. It's just our mother tongue. Wow, full-blooded challenge there by Canaries and winning the ball back and springing the counter-attack immediately. Wow, the referee says no foul there.
I thought you'd have called, but interesting enough too, Eli. I thought it was a foul, but it wasn't called. And then he took that ball and went straight down the flank. And the defender may have just injured himself in the process.
Yeah, both players are down. And you could just see by his reaction immediately that he felt that he had done himself.
The CLERY player is back up on his feet. But the defender who put in this tackle is yet to recover.
Trying to figure out who's the player for Canaries down on the ground. Of course, the man in the middle, Renly Napoleon, has his yellow card in hand. So, despite the outcome, injured or not, he will be receiving a caution for putting in that tackle.
There's some players try to use trickery on the officials and figure, well, I'm injured. So the referee may have a change of heart. But I don't think so.
As I can see, his yellow card is still in hand.
Oh, yes.
Not going back in his pocket.
Oh, yes. Defenders are taught to stay on their feet. Once you get into this situation, you've lost part of the plot.
I was also about to say, despite the fact Dr. Natasha Innocent is there, I don't think there'll be any transplants, so no change of heart tonight.
Not at all.
Player is up.
Should be receiving some attention outside on the touchline.
Walking quite gingerly. Looks like they're attending to his knee, it looks like. Hopefully it's not a serious injury.
Doc has yet to do anything. I can see is the medical person from the team itself. But it's a free kick in favor of CLERY.
That's Daniel Jean-Baptiste, the centre back for Canaries, number 18, receiving that yellow card in the 41st minute. It's close to half time, so maybe Canaries may hold back on a substitution and see if they could provide him with some treatment. A great ball across there by Puju, and this time with his right foot. So out swinging, critic.
Good technique, but I thought somebody may have just read it to lash onto it. But it looked like they all were in awe of the shot taken.
He really zipped that one in a very flat trajectory, whipped in with a lot of pace. So you have to be alert to it, or it's going to go by you in a jiffy.
Any contact made, it's going to be difficult for the goalkeeper to keep it out.
Free kick to CLERY. If you're just joining us, it's first half action. CLERY in the black strip, Canaries in the yellow and orange. And it's 1-0 in favor of CLERY. The goal scored by Andres Remy in the 31st minute. So the defending champions off to a good enough start in the second edition of the Semi-Pro Football League.
Yeah, good start for them. They want to increase on that scoreline. The touch there by the left back for Canaries.
Daniel Jean-Baptiste back on the pitch for Canaries at the moment. Still moving a little bit gingerly. But as I indicated, it's close to halftime, so if he needs any additional treatment, should be able to receive that during the halftime interval.
Not much time left though. And a searching free kick there by the Gazon. The defense for Canaries being able to deal with it is a foul on the left back. So possession goes back to Canaries.
Canaries' tempo has sort of simmered down a little bit. They'll be looking forward to the halftime. But Canaries will not feel like they're out of this contest at all, Critic.
If a scoreline of just 1-0, you can still keep your hopes high. It's just a matter of, stitching some passes together and getting a good shot. Ground is slippery. You may just cause some little mayhem. Or you have a dead ball situation, a corner. Something can happen. It can be very fortuitous to get back on the score sheet.
A little bit of a curious offside decision there. The player that would have eventually got onto the ball
Yeah, because the ball basically swerved.
came from a deep position. There were two players in an offside position, but they were not in play at all.
Yeah, from our vantage point, it didn't seem so, but
Maybe, yeah. Ball played out to Lionel. Back across to Darren Joseph. Just about be at the halftime interval. I expect the referee's whistle to go at any time now. Good composure there by Lionel, as I said. And there you go. This is the halftime whistle. Lionel is very quick across the ground, so you have to play that ball in with precision if you're going to get around
you
it.
heard the goalkeeper screaming at the centre back, but safety, that's what defenders are taught, to always be safe. You don't want to add any, unnecessary pressure on the defense. So clearly they're spraying the touch. But a good half for CLERY. Scored a good goal. But I just want to see if their passing ability to create more chances. But Canaries have been tough at the back, and they too now will have to think of how to score a goal in the second half.
Alright, and we'll be back with you guys for second half action in just a few. Just waiting second half kickoff, and there's the referee's whistle. CLERY versus Canaries in this second match of the evening. Canaries in the yellow and orange, CLERY in the black, and CLERY lead 1-0 from the boot of Andres Tiprai Remy, Elijah Williams, and Tennyson Glasgow back in your company.
Yes, Eli, back to second half action. Instructions given on both ends. One ball coming across. I would want to do better with this one. But not bad, an opener, getting a strike, not on target, but at least changing the chemistry of what Canary is trying to do. They start from the back, which seems to be the mainstay in football these days.
CLERY with a throw in. Johnny Hippolyte, the right back, to take that. Sentry on the ball. Just has it poked away from him by Daniel Jean-Baptiste. He needs to be careful. He's on a yellow card from the first half.
Trying to attempt a long throw, not making connection with any teammate of his. Ball ushered out by the centre back for Canaries. Another attempt, casual throw this time.
Lionel to Darren Joseph, center of the pitch, into the feet of Ronham Cooper. Ball across to Johnny Joseph on the right flank into Yuan De Gazo. Tries to put it in the cross one time. And ably dealt with by Daniel Jean-Baptiste, who's in turn fouled by Buju.
Him there. Good control in defense. Possession 2. CLERY.
Foul conceded there. Canaries players trying to remonstrate a little bit with one another.
A little frustration.
They can do that sometimes, get frustrated with themselves, even when they don't seem to be in any sort of grave danger, only down 1-0. Of course, they would want to do better. Remy straining in an offside position there.
Immediate strain this time.
Elias Jones, the number 21 in the right back position for Canaries.
The defender claiming that he had the ball, but took down the player as well. So it's a free kick to Canaries. They're not getting the football.
Oh, it looks like a little extra there by Cooper after MacArthur Louis went down. In the end, they say no harm, no foul, but it is a foul.
It is. So Canaries now will be hoping for a good delivery, just beyond the penalty spot area with a lot of pace onto and good height.
Ball in there.
A little more pace onto this one, Eli.
There's Remy again. Full head of steam. He's dangerous in terms of that. Get into the byline and a good ball across, and Degazo is in there and a good save He would have felt he should have done better. Buju, you and Degazo got that ball under control and put it on goal, but straight at Kimari John in goal. He did well with the pace on that shot to keep it out.
Yeah, good all-around football. Good shot by Buju. Good save by goalkeeper for Canaries. Also, Andres Remy doing pretty well coming down the left side, getting past loads of defenders and cutting that ball back just as he was supposed to.
Buju will be disappointed. He had the right side of
It was a good shot, you know, Eli. It was a good shot.
Aim for. Yeah, it was. I mean, the time that he had, the goalkeeper already committed himself to his near post, which is what he should be doing, the angle that the player is at. Felt Degas on, immediately put his face in his hands. Felt he could have done better.
Meantime, we have another free kick. Again, if you get that ball into a good position, tall central defender can get something on it.
Poor delivery there. Joseph too would have felt he should have done better.
Ball going up.
Get another look at that.
CLERY continue to build on the flank.
Good football there by CLERY. Remy probably doing just a little bit too much this time around.
Yeah, I tried to do too much like you indicated. But we must credit Canaries, Eli. They keep on trying. Despite they being down, they're still trying to plot a way to see if they can craft a chance or score a goal.
Yeah, this Canaries team has been in this game right through. And we see Andres Remy getting in there again. And he's going to want to tee up. Oh, just miscued this one. And was an open goal there for Malik Saint-Prix.
Yeah, but the pass was behind him. I think you have a situation, Eli, where Remy could have taken the shot. He kept on looking, but when you realize that they are not in position, you take the shot on yourself.
Well, to be fair, I felt he could have squared that ball across to Saint-Prix. I think he thought that he was in a position that he was not. Let's look at the replay again.
There you see.
Right there, yeah.
So he squared it behind him.
Behind him, yeah.
And Buju was ahead of him. So that's why I'm saying neither player was in the position where you thought they were. So why not shoot the football? Again, when you have a lot of time, this is what it creates. And this is the way you see good goal scorers get paid a lot of money because they make the right decision. Buju coming down, Remy coming down should have realized that the players were not there and just take a shot to goal. When he gets in here, right on top of the 6 yard, because everybody's behind. Everybody's behind. Right on top of the 6, you shoot.
Back to live action.
But also,
Canary is still in the game.
Eli, I say so, but Sempri and Buju should have given instructions to Remy to shoot.
I think he could have squared that ball across to Saint-Prix. I like you said, they were not in the position that he thought they were in. You know, maybe the last time he looked up, that's about where he saw them.
The easiest thing to do was to square it, but he got the time he had to square, he didn't. So that's where the instruction is supposed to change and say shoot.
Yeah,
because you miss the opportunity to pass.
No foul there again.
And this is where the CLERY get complicated. You see, they do all of this, but for some reason, Eli, they're not able to have that decisive pass in the final third. Player carrying, but somebody always gets into somebody's way.
Right back again across field, and Remy did well to keep it in, and good feet by Cooper, and a shot. Ronham Cooper, very handy player for the CLERY. Sort of the midfield destroyer. But he can also get forward and get on the score sheet. We saw some nifty footwork by him there. Shot blocked in the end. But the CLERY would be probably ruin a couple of opportunities that just went a-begging.
Yeah, I think more concentration needs to be given as well. Because, you know, you build the ball from all the way back, you make your way into midfield. But concentration needs to be at its premium in the final third of the field. And even last year when they won, I remember making that point out to them. That, hey, you guys are winning games, but you still give teams an opportunity to come back at you. And if Canaries can just nail it, that changes the whole complexion of the game. So more concentration needs to be given when they're in full cry in attack. We realize that sometimes you have Angus Remy getting in the way of Sempri. Sempri gets in the way of Angus Remy. The passes behind Buju. Buju takes a ill shot. So there's a lot of little things that they need to fix in the final part of the attack.
Yeah, maybe early season blues. The CLERY did start slow last season, and played their way into some scintillating form. Went down 1-0 in their first encounter against Grosile right here.
That's right.
At the same venue. This time around, they are up 1-0. And maybe should have built on that. As it stands, it's still 1-0, and Canaries will still feel it in the game. We just saw Makafa Louis have a little foray a while ago. Nifty little dribble and a left-footed shot that went wide. So the Canaries are showing signs that, you know, if you give them an opportunity, they may be able to hurt you.
Canaries have some good support in the stands as well. So they've made the trip from Canaries coming up, and they want to see the team be glorified. So there's another loose pass. There's Angus Remy taking on two defenders.
Just a missed kick there by Jonathan Allen. Makafalui may have thought he was up front. Passed the ball to himself, but he was back in a midfield position.
This is a measure of cramp.
Looks like Alex Longville there, number 12 for Canaries. Seen his teammates signaling he probably needs a change.
Probably a knee injury to his left knee. It is still 1-0, you know, Eli. We've seen so much football being played, but you know, again, this game can change so easily. Very, very easily. Good searching pass. A good defending there by the defender from last season, reading the game well, using his pace and length. Yeah.
You know, come to think of it, I don't think I've seen an attacking player outrun Lionel as yet, you know.
In the league.
In a one-on-one scenario?
Yeah, in the league.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, from last season, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Substitution there, number 77, Yannick Noel in for number 7, Jonathan Allen. Yannick Noel also a national team player. Striker. So what you may see happening is Malik Senpri dropping into a number 10 position and allowing Yannick Noel to play further up front.
Focal point of the attack.
Jerry Regis, number 14 instead of Alex Longville, number 12.
So that's the noise you're hearing in the stands, the fans of the substitute.
Regis.
Yeah.
With all the incident, all of the football we've seen play, it is still 1-0 in favor of CLERY, and we see good footwork there again. And Degazo is on the charge, puts that ball across on the left foot. Defended well there by Canaries.
A lot of pressure being placed on the Canaries defense. They've been able to hold up despite the scoreline, Eli. We see the CLERY team trying to raise the intensity in terms of attack, but not being able to get that perfect pass into the box. It's a corner now for CLERY. Let's see if they can improve on the scoreline. But despite the one goal being scored, The defense of Canaries has been very resolute.
Yeah, keep an eye on number 18, Daniel Jabatiste there. Just clutched the back of his thigh after making that clearance. Let's see if that affects him. Canaries quickly back on. Lionel again. Scooper in that attack for Canaries. They tried to move quickly, but he was just as quick.
Yeah, but what I'm laughing at is that the referee have been busy trying to give a card to the right back for the left, but the card just wouldn't come out. And the same breath, they took the quick play on him, so he'll be struggling with that, but eventually he got the card out.
Carnival is not time for cards, it's Christmas. So maybe that's what the card was thinking. Johnny Hippolyte with that yellow card there. Let me say good evening to you folks watching via the live stream. My information is a few thousand people are tuned in to the live stream, Critic.
Which is good.
Canaries winning the ball back there again. Good football there by Canaries. Patient and a strike from long range.
Very good shot. Very good shot from the left back. He's been having a torrid game, but clearly this time around he made up his mind to put in some good work in this one. Here we see and just hear me call offside, but a very good shot by the left back. Let's imagine, Eli, if he was a little closer, the goalkeeper would have a lot of difficulty in fending off this one.
Yeah, it was easy pickings for Devon Senpri in the final going, but that shot was hit with some venom, but it was way out. Give the keeper enough time. Generally well-positioned goalkeeper. Had enough time to just pick that one out of the air. Make it look very simple. All the way into feet plays that one there. Oh, you'll be disappointed with that delivery.
Yeah, he may have to show a little more patience, or probably he could take on his man down the flank. But to get that ball in the position from where he was would have been difficult. I know it's my trend of thought, Eli, but CLERY versus Canaries, I don't know, but everywhere seems close now. You know, with the advent of roads being resurfaced, Canaries is just down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's no longer a long trip per se. And the roads are bad, you think of potholes, but when it's smooth, you just smooth sailing, just put the vehicle in D and let's go. So if Canaries can snatch a goal in this encounter, they can go home in a joyful mood. Free kick to Canaries.
On balance, I don't think the game has been bad. I think CLERY will feel that they deserve the 1-0 lead. They've had the slightly better of the exchanges, I think, thus far. But Canaries has been no slouch themselves. They've caused a lot of trouble. They've been very disruptive, not allowed CLERY to play their usual free-flowing football. And when CLERY has gotten opportunities to get in behind the Canaries rear guard, they've not made the most of it. So the scoreline remains at 1-0. Interesting.
Like you mentioned, they have been disruptive. They have created chances. Here we see an opportunity. Young Messi, a snapshot in those conditions. We saw some glimpses of defenders all over the place, which resulted in a corner for the Canaries team.
Yeah, Darren Joseph was able to intercept that shot. So we see, is it Lionel that's down in the center of the pitch there?
Looks like him, number 5.
Hobbling.
He's a
Think
strong,
he'll be
he's a
okay.
strong lad.
They may definitely need him for this corner kick. Good ball put into the box there. Dealt with by CLERY, and good tackle, full-blooded tackle there.
Yeah, good tackle from all across from right back.
Like Elias Jones there. Number 21 it is. And Yannick Noel got his welcome to the game. Substitute, and Lionel is down again. Not a good sign, a worrying sign for CLERY. I was just saying a little earlier on that CLERY went through pretty much the entire season without getting any sort of major injuries.
Yeah.
And I mean, this guy was the best defender of the season last season, and to see him down, and looks like he's struggling. He did try to get up and proceed a little while ago, but he's down again, and might be a little bit of a worrying sign for CLERY.
Yeah, let's see how it pans out.
Back up and hobbling again.
I see him taking the full walk.
Remy Robb there. Very vociferous crowd there at the Mindo Phillip Park.
As the supporters of Canaries, they really support the team home and away.
Good little crowd too. I'm guesstimating somewhere in the region of 300-400 patrons in there on a Tuesday night.
For rescheduled fixtures.
Maybe an additional 50 odd in the stands closer to the river end.
Goalkeeper given some encouragement by his colleague, saying good clearance.
Canaries look like he's taking himself away from the goal there. Snapshot there by Messi. Looks a little disappointed, but probably as best as he could do under the circumstances, critic.
Yeah. And a little some pressure, so he needed to get that ball, get that shot on as quick as possible.
These days, the time it takes for the offside flag to go up, critic, just leaves you in a little bit of suspense.
It does. Again, from where we are, it is difficult for us to tell. But based on the crowd reaction, Like Clary may have just been onto something. But Canaries continue. A loose pass there. Yeah, like I said, it continues with Leclerc. Like, yes, they're a good playing team. Yes, they're defending champions. We understand that. But in the final third, it's always difficult for them. It's always difficult for them to stitch the correct passes. It's as if they're very careless when it comes to the final part of the attack. So this is something that Coach Zane needs to take into consideration and get back on the pitch where he can probably work on some finishing drills.
I think it's still early days. We've seen Leclerc play some very fluent attacking football during last season. There's Degazor pushing that one just a little too much, a little heavy touch and characteristic of him. But of course, at this time of the game, the legs are starting to feel like lead. It's the first game of the season.
So you're more prone to make errors.
Unlike some of the players who may have been involved in various league competitions of late.
Before the semi-pro.
Yeah. So good save there by the goalkeeper.
Seems to be having a good game as well, Eli. Despite the scoreline, he has really kept Canaries in the game.
I don't think there was anything he could have done about the goal.
No.
Ball cleared off the line there. Substitution on deck there. Looks like Daniel Marti is the one set to come in for Yuan Degazon. I suspect Coach Zane Pierre may have made the same observation that I just made, that Buju's legs were starting to feel like two pieces of lead. Kingsley Henry, the number 4 for Canaries, though. That's my observation, that every time he's in possession of the ball, he boots it upfield looking for a long pass.
Yeah.
Not necessarily trying to take his time to build out from the back.
Not only that, too, he has time and space where he can travel with the football, but he always opts for a high degree or a low percentage pass, is a better word. And you would think that he's very seasonal, he's grown into the role. So he needs to develop that part of his game because it's becoming, his go-to. And that shouldn't be the way. He should be the one to push that line forward whilst he carries the football, thereby engaging his midfielders and to keep possession for Canaries.
Yeah, let me say good evening to my good friend, Mr. Earl Bologja. Remy in there for Leclerc, looking dangerous. Ball across there, and Kimari John doing well there. Of course, if you know anything about Earl, you know he's a Leclerc boy. So you would be cheering on his Leclerc team. Record goal scorer for St. Lucia, Mr. Ulja.
Born and bred from Leclerc.
Correct.
Yeah, very difficult for
Good throw out
Canaries.
there by SOUFRIERE. Feel like the game is getting just a little disjointed, critic.
Indeed, like you mentioned, tired legs.
Much ado about nothing, critic.
Much to do and about nothing. Canaries being one down, your focus should not be trying to, retaliate. Your focus should be getting hold of the football and see how we can get a goal to go home with at least a point. When you expand energy trying to, a little hand there, it's
Yeah,
nothing.
just handbags.
Just continue to play.
Just handbags and
Just continue to
eventually
play.
yellow card for Yannick Noel, I believe. Committed the original foul where he held on to Messi for an extended period of time, and Renly Napoleon deeming that worthy of a yellow card is
Manuel. What's the name, eh?
I don't think we have the correct. I think it's number 77 though, and not number 17. 17? Okay, my apologies. Jamanuel Xavier it is.
In come the troops, David Henry. Experience can hold up.
Veteran player. Not his first go at semi-pro. He played semi-pro football in Europe in his earlier days as well.
So he comes in for a wealth of experience.
I think with his back to goal, he can be quite a handful for a
Yes.
defender.
If he can get a proper pass, he might just cause some trouble.
Way Lionel put his boot through that. I can tell he's fully recovered from.
He's back.
Good turn out of trouble there by CLERY, and nice ball across. Remy getting his man one-on-one. Let's see if he'll take him on. He opts to cross that ball. Cooper will be disappointed there. We saw one cross go behind the players a while ago, that being from Andres Remy, and now Ronham Cooper in a similar position, put the ball ahead of everybody and pass the upright and into touch.
Cooper should have squared that ball because the angle he tried with his left foot would have been too severe. Again, CLERY loose in concentration in the final part of the field.
Of course, just reminded here that CLERY will soon be off to the CFU Club Shield, representing St.
Lucia
Lucia.
in the regional stage, yeah. But with those exploits, they need to up the attack. They need to find out a way to score more goals because the opposition in the region is not at that level. So you need to, find your form as quick as possible, hit the ground running. I know we speak of the first game in the season for them, but I mean, you're at it, you're at a certain level. You need to show us, you need to show us that level. It's all well and good that you have all the accolades of defending champions and you've done the treble and you have released this video on social media. We understand all of that. But on the pitch, make it count.
Well, the CLERY will tell you it's counting. It's 1-0. It's our famous words ring out from the crowd.
Half volley from way outside, very difficult technique to execute.
See Canaries trying to play the ball out the back.
And they continue to play.
I believe somewhere in there was a substitution outside of David Henry getting around the keeper there, the offside.
Who was offside? David Henry? David Henry can't have enough pace to be offside. No, I'm just trying to figure out, seems like it's David Henry. I'm saying, should he get a proper pass? He has the ability to finish.
I think in the melee there a while ago, Kingsley Henry was substituted for Anthony Felix. The number 5 is now on instead of number 4, Kingsley Henry. And there is his opportunity, goes off the bar. Pandemonium in the crowd here at the Mindu Phillip Park.
David Henry did everything right. He found himself in the perfect position. He booted that ball in the direction where it came from, but the goalpost saved CLERY.
Yeah.
Nothing to be ashamed of. He did everything correct.
Yeah,
the ball just wouldn't fall. The ball just wouldn't fall.
In that instance. Poor corner kick there. That would have been a very impactful substitution there for Canaries.
Can you give me the name for number 14 for Canaries, Eli? Came into the game as a substitute.
That would be Jerry Regis.
This youngster has a good touch. Very, very good touch. Very good touch. He keeps the game very simple and he just keeps the ball rolling. Look at how he plays. Very simple. Always makes the right decision, even the weight of pass. And he was the one the fans were making all the fuss when he came onto the pitch.
Looks pretty young.
Very young. He looks like a 16-year-old about that.
Looks pretty young.
But Canaries continue to play. Canaries continue to play. Chances are falling.
One observation that I've made, critic, through our games that we've seen thus far, lots of young players under the age of 20 are impacting these senior games.
Told you. I remember when I played, guys would play till 25, 26, 27, 28. But I don't think Yeah, I don't think we've ever, highlighted somebody who's up in that age. So clearly the youngsters are taking over senior football in St. Lucia, which is a good sign. And there are loads of youngsters at various districts and teams who can play and who have developed from last season. So basically, it's a stepping stone for the semi-pro league to show that quick burst of development for the tier one teams, especially.
Yeah, I think that's also a sort of a global trend. We have a special guest in St. Lucia in the person of Miles Lewis Kelly. Only 18 years old, has broken into the Arsenal first team, has broken into the England first team as well.
Listen, I spent a good part of today with Miles and his family. Listen, Eli, he's a special talent. He's a special talent. Like you mentioned, 17, 18, and breaking to first team football, one of the best teams in the world, also for his country. He's a talent.
So Erickson McGlaw for Ranam Cooper, substitution by CLERY.
Yeah, Canaries just went back down. Or is it a situation, Eli, that David should have put that ball down more forceful in that same direction rather than going in the air?
I think he was looking more for placement than power.
Power, yeah.
And he just missed it by
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Difficult skill though.
Meanwhile, Jamanuel Xavier also has been substituted. Micaiah Wells, I believe, is the player in his place.
Disappointment there for the centre back trying to find a pass up field and just putting the ball out of touch.
Oh, what a tackle there. Had to get that absolutely right.
Yeah, I've just pulled a muscle as well in the saving effort. Seemed like a little hamstring.
Well, earlier on I did say to keep an eye on him. He was the one that went down and clutched his hamstring. I believe Daniel Jean-Baptiste, the number 18 then, just stretching away again. Those are the kind of tackles, Critic. If you don't get them right, that might be you preventing a clear goal scoring opportunity.
Very painful.
Yeah, it's a hamstring. I think he's given everything today.
Signaling to the bench, he's all right, he's all right.
One player from Canaries, and he goes home, sleep like a baby. He's giving everything.
I don't know if you realize that Dove Too Funny.
Yeah, I realized it. I saw his name.
All right.
Was with the way for South outfit.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Tufani has become his surname. It's actually Dove Jean-Baptiste. But of course, just as we mentioned Subans, it's Tufani.
That's right.
That's the final whistle there. 1-0 in favor of CLERY. A reverse of their fortunes from their opener last season where they lost 1-0 to CLERY. An equally challenging encounter against Canaries, and they came out there, the victor, thanks to that goal from Andres Remy. Early on in the encounter, it was that goal came in the 31st minute. And CLERY have their season off to a start with 3 points.
Yeah, 3 points, yes, but I like to place a little more emphasis on the overall gameplay. They should have done better. Hard luck to Canaries. They really stuck to it. Unlucky for David Henry. But should CLERY want to repeat as champions in season 2, they would have to work on their finishing. And in terms of position jostling for Canaries, don't give up. I can see it's a very young team. Just try to take your chances. But CLERY would have to improve most definitely in the final third of the field.
All right, and this is where we sign off, folks, for this evening. Of course, there are 2 matches on the cards for tomorrow, but they are both in Tier 2 or the Super League. Let me just get my hands on the fixtures for you. So tomorrow's matches, that will be right here at the Mindo Phillip Park at 7 p.m. Labry will take on Roseau, to be followed by Ancillary versus Babono at 9 p.m. So for Tennyson Glasgow, I'm Elijah.